everyone. Hope that you are all doing well today. 30 people already on. You guys are so awesome. Seriously, I'm trying to get everything set up here for JJ. Is everybody having a good day? Oh, I see comments now. Card Shop Reality, Jean, coaches. Hi, Jean. You're so sweet. Jason's on. Charlotte, Virginia. Hi, guys. I heard or saw Mr. JJ went live yesterday without me. Hey, Fred and Serena. Hi. Oh, Patrick, I'm so happy. Well, I missed you guys yesterday. He had talked about maybe going live, but he wasn't 100% certain, and I was off, you know, running. Oh, you're so nice, Card Shop. I was running some errands to get ready for dinner because it was Cinco de Mayo yesterday. So, of course, we had to have tacos, and we had to have chicken tacos at that because those are the best ones. So, anyways, I missed all of you guys. It was weird not going live too, because by the time that it like came around and it was that time to go live, like it was weird to not be. Like I felt like I was forgetting something. JJ is getting ready for you guys. I missed you too. Yes, I was able to go get my hair done. I went and got it done. When did I go get my hair done? I don't even know. Friday, May 1st, I think was the day that I got to go get my hair done. I got to get my nails done too. I'm like a new woman. Exactly. Yeah, that's right, Jason. Hi, Tracy. I'm so glad that you're back. Yeah, withdrawals for sure, Daniel. Tony's on. Hello, Tony. Thank you, Fred. I do deserve a spa day, Nancy. I agree. Our anniversary is coming up, but we were going to go away. Our anniversary is on the 17th. We were going to go away, and we'd made plans, but then we just kind of like, I don't know that I really want to go stay in a hotel room. So we're just going to camp out here for the weekend. Yay, you were on time today. I did have some cool news today. My son is a senior, and he is, wow, JJ's getting all kinds of stuff ready for y'all. So hope you're ready. My son is a senior this year, and he is actually on a billboard right now because, you know, they're not obviously doing graduation. So he is on a billboard by this amazing company, Lamar Advertising, here in Oklahoma City, and they are, you can send in a picture of your senior, and they are putting them up for free and running those advertisements all day long, and so it's so awesome. So he just sent me a picture of him standing in front of it because I haven't got to go see it yet, so I will go see it. I know, he's bringing it all out for you guys today. It is awesome, coaches. It really is. Like, we've been trying to come up with some creative things to do to celebrate for the seniors since they aren't getting a graduation. Yes, he is putting on a great jacket. Yeah, he has on a really awesome jacket today. And he's whistling, moving stuff around, so, oh, I know why he's doing all of this now. I bet Card Shop Reality can tell us why this is happening. We don't have cupcakes or drinks or anything, though.
No, I'm done.
Oh, I'm not gonna show anything. I'm handling all the props.
All right, I think.
Card Shop's not gonna reveal it, but he knows what's happening. Thank you so much. My nail lady is amazing. She's awesome. All right, drum roll. I need to just start playing your song. We do that whenever we're doing the other things. Anyways, it was nice to see you guys. I missed you yesterday. I'm going to my corner.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Thursday. Card Shop Reality is on it. Where's my glasses at? So today is a very special day. Yay, the pinstripe, I appreciate that. Well, how is everybody doing today? I wanted to always give the lovely Amanda the opportunity to say hi to everybody in the beginning, so it works out really well. I just finished two calls with two of the businesses that are going to be on the reality show. And, you know, I always tell Amanda I'll be on like 30 minutes, maybe 45. And I think I went, 2.5 hours with our new good friends. But anyways, how is everybody here? Let's see, Daniel and Serena and Alyssa. And I heard that Tracy's on.
Yeah.
Jason, of course. Tony, Fred. Thank you all so much. JK, Alyssa, Serena. Tony, thank you for being on today. Always good. Nancy H. Let's see. We can probably show that one from Nancy H. That's funny. That one got held up. Nancy H's little comment there.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, but all right. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. And Rob, what's up? What's up? How are you all? Good to see you. And let's see. So the Amanda's on. The Amanda is on. We're going to be revealing some of that next week.
Yep.
You guys are going to be excited about this. My concern is that you're going to get too busy doing all that stuff and you won't be helping me on mine anymore.
Whatever. You're always my number one.
Oh, hey, Joshua Flores, how are you? Jan, Rosa, and Jean, how are you? Good to see you. All right, Will, hello, hello. So today is the day that you're going to learn that I might need to go to a recovery for this. But the thing to know is that I haven't done anything with this in years. But there was once upon a time at my office that I did truly consider whether or not I was going to create a legitimate registered museum for Gordon Gekko. And I'll tell you why Gordon Gekko here in a minute, but today is Gordon Gekko's birthday. If you don't know who Gordon Gekko is from the movie Wall Street here with Bud Fox and Darian, otherwise known as Daryl Hannah and Charlie Sheen. So this movie here, Wall Street, has defined the man that is in front of you, and you might think, well, how? Gordon Gekko's a bad guy. Well, I'll tell you why. But I wanted to let you all know that I think that we will stick with our Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, tomorrow. My daughter is in essence graduating college. They are doing a virtual dance senior project. She's a dance major. And of course, they're not able to go and dance, so they're doing a pre-recording, and it'll be live on Facebook, live as in they're releasing it all at one time. And so tomorrow I'll be doing that. It'll be quite interesting. So she's been to New York for a year and then got her 4-year degree. And I'm very excited for all that. Card Shop Reality. Gordon Gekko is the cop in Basic Instinct that likes to hook up with Sharon Stone, or look up Sharon Stone's dress. He was also the cop that was in Japan, if you remember that one too. Nancy H, Serena, Clay, love the suit. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And thank you on my daughter's graduation. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. I really appreciate that. So this guy right here, okay, Michael Douglas and Bud Fox. So this is a autographed picture of them from a scene in the movie. That is Bud Fox and Gordon Gekko. Money Never Sleeps, okay? Did anybody catch that that's the name of my song? Money Never Sleeps. And there's a scene in the movie where Gordon Gekko calls Bud Fox in the morning early, and Gordon Gekko has one of those huge brick phones. I'll show you what this is in a minute, but it's almost this big. But he calls Gordon Gekko calls Bud Fox, and he says, "Money never sleeps, pal," as he wakes him up. Little trivia. Did you know? Because I watched the version of Wall Street where Oliver Stone gave a kind of a commentary the entire time. They actually shot that in the evening. They acted like it was in the morning. But anyways, Clay, yes, Money Never Sleeps. Clay, Card Shop, Steven, Bros Tax Service. What's up, top dog? Do you believe in business credit, DUNS number, etc. to help business during COVID? I'm not sure on that one that you're talking about there, but I never have really shied away from credit. Now, I've got a number of things that we'll kind of talk about. I might have to hand these to you. But I also wanted to say thanks to, who got shot? Somebody just got shot. I also want to say thank you to God's Dozer. Is God Dozer on? Is he on? Have you seen him? Have you seen him pop up yet? Well, then we're gonna wait because we got something. I'll show it really quick. We got something from him today, which we really appreciate. Very, very thoughtful. Someone who got some PPP money, so we're loving that. Let's see, Bud Fox pitched in the California Penal League before becoming a relief pitcher for the Cleveland Indians. That's true. John, what's up? Rob, JJ, Money Never Sleeps. Let's see, JJ never sleeps and Money Never Sleeps. This is true. So, hey, I had a client that went and filled out the EIDL and went all the way through the application process. So I don't know if you saw, I did a video on it and I was like, you know what? EIDL is back up. They're indicating that it's for agricultural businesses only. But when you log in, well, I shouldn't even say log in, when you go to the website, sba.gov, and you start going through the process, you see that it asks if you're this kind of business or this kind of business, agricultural, this kind of business, agricultural, this kind of business. This kind of business meaning not agricultural, not related to agricultural. I still didn't even say it right. Let's see. Daniel, Gordon also got in office scandal with Demi Moore. This is true, Gene. Let's see, Doug, greeting from Missouri. But they were able to get through the whole application process. And in my video, I was saying, you know what, it's kind of interesting here. It is making it clear, SBA is, that the only applications that they are approving, accepting, are those that are related to agricultural. But if that's the case, now you got to hear me out on this. If that's the case, as I said in the video, then you would think that when you go to do the application, it would only have questions about whether or not you're in agricultural. But it has the same questions as before. You know, are you a business less than 500 employees? Yes, it's a pick one. Then do you find yourself disqualified in the other questions? And if no, you're not disqualified, boom, you can apply. So I did have a client that made it all the way through the process, and they got a confirmation number, an SBA number, if you will. Now, here's the reason that I was like, in the video, I was like, well, maybe go ahead and apply. Maybe what it does is it puts you in a position that if they do the funding of the applications that were in pre the reload, right, in the original 10 billion, if they get through those applications, fund those, and then people that are in agricultural, they're gonna put in their applications, and then whatever doesn't get funded, so to speak, and if there's any left over, would it be best to be in line, in essence, for some EIDL money? So that was where I was like, well, I don't think at all we're fooling anybody, because if you apply for the EIDL, you're not clicking that you're in the business related to agricultural if you don't select that button. So you are making it clear to the SBA, hey, I'm this kind of business, and I do qualify on the other items, I'm going to go ahead and submit it. Okay? And so with that, someone went all the way through the process. All to say is I had indicated in that video, oh, thank you.
We have to have one for Gordon.
What day did they apply? I'm going to say it was yesterday. I saw the email today, but it was yesterday. So the thing is that if you go and apply, don't expect the money, because they did say they're only going to approve those that apply related to agricultural. But if everybody gets their money that's already applied and those in the agricultural industry get theirs, okay, then maybe you would want to be first in line. That was the only reason I put it in there. It is only going to be $1,000 per. So that's the latest on the EIDL. I'll tell you what's interesting is I was talking today, given an interview to, well, I shouldn't say, it's a national tax publication. So I was quite honored. Thank you to Sean Goodman. I will say that because I wouldn't have had the opportunity without Sean. Sean was very gracious to share with this reporter that they needed to visit with me, but it was an honor to visit with them. But we were talking about PPP, and you know what's interesting is on the PPP, if you all were watching Monday, Coach came out and talked about it. Coach isn't here today. But on the PPP, this seems like the hot news right now still is, are you going to be able to deduct the money that you're spending that you got for free and get a tax deduction for it? So check out my video on that, but I'll just tell you, 3-prong no. One prong of why that's a no, that you will not be able to tax deduct what it is that you got from the government in PPP funds, is because grants have always worked this way, which is the grant money you get is not taxable, but when you spend the grant money, that's not your money, it's not income, it wasn't taxed to you, you don't get to write it off. Like, it's just been that way forever. There's nothing new about that. The second is that if the argument for this is, because this is what the wonderful American Institute of CPAs has argued and others are arguing, is that Congress supposedly was making a capital investment into the American business. Well, the issue with that here is that if that was the case, then every small business would have got one. It wouldn't have been through the bank. It wouldn't have been kind of a lottery process, right? There's people still out there that haven't gotten the PPP. They're working hard. They're going one bank to the other, to the next. If it was a capital investment, it wouldn't have worked that way. They wouldn't be calling it a loan, right? Because if you get the money and you don't spend it according to the parameters, you got to pay it back. So it's not a capital investment. The other part, though, is how many of you would ever invest in a company where the value of the company was based on what the payroll is, right? Because in essence, if this was a capital investment, that means that the government said, hey, you know what your business is worth? What's your payroll divided by 24 times 2.5? That's not the value of any business. So that's why I don't think it's not considered a capital investment. And the third prong to it is, how would we get it off our financials, right? I mean, I guess you could put it in as non-taxable income, but the fact of the matter is, if it's non-taxable income and it flows through, does that then allow you to get the deductions? And the answer in my mind is no. Now, let me tell you this. If for some reason they allow those that got PPP money to not pay tax on the amount they receive, which that's locked in. You're not going to pay tax on the PPP monies you get, okay? And they allow those businesses to tax deduct the expenses they used according to the government. If they allow them to tax deduct it, that's very discriminatory, right? Because I've talked about it before, that the businesses that got the PPP, it's like almost kind of lucked out. I mean, I know more and more are getting it, and I'm glad for that. But it was almost kind of like, you know, not everybody got it, and now you got free money and you're getting a tax deduction for free money. So anyways, that's why I don't think it's going to fly. Talked about a video on that. Hey, has God Dozer showed up?
He has not.
He's not showed up. All right, we got, let's see, Kenny Ski.
Oh, I wanted to
Hey,
say
JJ.
that
Yes, you got one?
Stevens Pro Tax Service says that they have to admit you are the coolest CPA on YouTube.
I love it. I appreciate it. I'll take it. And I noticed on YouTube though.
Yeah, I did say.
But see, the thing is I know that, but what I like about that is that somebody's indicating that, you know, they're cool too. Right? You can give up a compliment like that with coolest, but you got to reserve what you're coolest for. So I really appreciate that, and thank you for tuning in. Let's see, we got hi JJ, are you talking about EIDL loan advance up to 10K? Yes, I was talking about that 10K amount, and it appears that even though the SBA is saying agricultural only, it's allowing people to go through the process. I told my client, I said, don't plan on the money, but you've clearly applied in a manner not pretending that you are an agricultural business. You clearly indicated that you weren't. So anyways, yeah, that's what we're talking about there. Glenda, let's see. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves, which I love. Let's see. Eastman, I applied for both PPP, EIDL, received PPP funds a few days ago. Can I go over the maximum for a sole proprietor and loan forgiveness? I received X amount on a loan and 1,000 in PPP. Let's see. If you got that dollar amount, let's see. All right, so Eastman, tell me this. Is the 20K, I just want to double check, is that the loan amount? And then you got 1,000 on PPP? Because typically if you got an even cool 1,000, that'd be EIDL. So I just want to verify that I've got the right terminology to be able to answer that. I'm going on 4 weeks waiting on EIDL. Danny, I'll tell you this, it seems like a bunch of people are saying the money's coming in. I mean, even yesterday, this morning, like, hey, woke up $1,000 in my account, woke up $3,000 in my account. So keep the faith. If you applied 4 weeks ago, I'm betting you're gonna get it, because it does seem like, even though there was rumor that applications were lost, it seems like people are getting it. And I've got a client that it might have been 4 weeks ago. Yeah, because it was before PPP 1, and they just got their money Monday, $2,000. So hold true. John, let's see, Kenny Ski, PPP, is it retroactive to February 15th? You know, here's the deal, Kenny, when the Senate passed it before it went through the House, and I did a couple of videos on it, and I had to go back and make some correction on it, but the Senate was indicating that you could go back to February 15th in determining your expenses. It wasn't like that 8 weeks only. It was kind of more originally well, here's what we want you to spend it on. And then when it came out of the House, it had the 8 weeks on it. It was the 56th day. And it was only, in essence, from that day forward, where the February 15th comes into play is when you're looking at PPP, whatever contracts you had, lease, loans that the interest is going on, basically whatever employees you have, that's pretty much what they're saying is going to qualify. Anything new after that. So if you're asking about the expenses that are included, it would be from disbursement date plus 56 days. Oh, Glenda, got mine deposited yesterday, applied April 10th. Boom. I'm so glad that you got the money, Glenda. Let's see. The Amanda is here today. Sandra, hello, hello. Oh gosh, it skipped way down. Vivian, hello. My, you know, I just can't keep up. I'm just so honored that everybody's here today. And if you just came on, I don't know if you're aware, but today is it's Gordon Gekko's birthday. And Amanda made this for me, and this is a pivotal scene, and this is the scene where Gordon Gekko tells Bud Fox that lunch is for wimps. But anyways, Amanda made this. It's on canvas. It's one of the scenes. This is obviously in black and white. It's very nice. Normally hangs in my home office here while I don't have the JJ, the CPA. And Amanda's taking a quick picture. And could I hand this to you? So today is Gordon Gekko's birthday, and he's aged so well because look at this. They came out and did Wall Street 2 just for me, I'm convinced, but this is basically, this ended up being Gordon Gekko's son-in-law, okay? Because Gordon Gekko had a son, Rudy. Rudy ended up killing himself. It's tragic, and he ended up having a daughter, Winnie. And then Winnie hooked up with this guy who was also from Wall Street. But anyways, it is Gordon Gekko's birthday, and here's how I know this, okay? Here's how I know this. And when I was in college, we had a club. There was 4 of us, potentially 10 of us. And the way that you got to be in the club is that you would watch the movie Wall Street. And you gotta remember, when I was in college, Wall Street was fresh out, okay? If you watch the movie, of course, you know, VHS was, you had to buy Wall Street, it was like $120 on VHS. Anyways, if you watch the movie, what we would say is, you have to tell us what 5-6 is. We just gave him the 5-6. We didn't tell him nay. But anyways, there's a scene soon into the movie where Bud Fox is waking up in the morning. He's checking his calendar during the day, and it's a screen that's about this thick, right? That green screen. And it comes up, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun. And it was Gordon Gekko's birthday. It was right on there. And then Bud Fox took to Gordon Gekko a box of Cubans. And you know what kind of cigar they are? I'll tell you in a minute. All right, hey, now here's has God Dozer gotten on yet? Because we want to make sure. All right. It would make no sense double dipping Clay. I appreciate it. You are probably providing some info. Let's see, Eastman. Oh gosh, you know what? I might have lost your question. Eastman.
Card Shop wants to know if you're wearing suspenders or not. Or did you forget them? I want you guys to know, Card Shop, I have seen this. Whenever I first met him, he wore them almost all the time. So he has lots of them because I've bought him a couple of pairs. So he does have them, but we're going to have to pull up old pictures.
Well, I don't know if you want to, but you could go in my closet and grab some, because I don't want people to think I'm a poser. Okay. So when you go into the closet, I know yours is your side's on the right. Mm-hmm. And I know you know I'm on the left, but it's back in the corner, like they're hiding. Okay. Here's the deal. When I started doing tax seminars, I would wear the braces, okay? And they're called braces. And the reason they're called braces is that they button into your pants. Suspenders clip, okay? But anyways, I wore braces, okay? But the buttons, okay, I'll admit to you, I was gaining a little weight and the buttons started to really kind of dig in. And so anyways, I had 2 suits that had the buttons in them to put the suspenders in, and I needed to just switch to a belt. Now I've lost weight since then, and so when I was on the trip, I cut the buttons out that the braces can go in, so I only had 2 of those. So I appreciate that, and I knew that Card Shop Reality was gonna ask me that. But I will tell you about, I'm gonna tell you about Harvey Warren the Fourth, because he's the one that taught me about the braces. But let me tell you this, on the PPP funds, I haven't seen anything official out there. If I was putting a guess on it based on some numbers that I saw at the last part of last week and then some informal things I saw at the beginning of this week, I bet you there's maybe 50 billion left, okay? Could be a little more, wouldn't mind being conservative. Now we could wake up tomorrow and all the PPP is gone. But here's why it's gonna be lasting, is that the smaller banks, oh wow, look at this. Yeah, see that, and they will know I am not a poser because I have white braces, okay? I have braces that have the words tax on it, okay? And I've got,
that's Gordon.
there's Gordon. I've got maroon. I've got some that have Look at this. Can you see this? They've got golf clubs on them. Okay, got golf clubs. And these were kind of like a Gordon Gekko one. The stripes right here. Okay, you got the stripes. That's a blue. That's what I would have wore today. Now, this was my favorite one. Tim Hefner, my good friend and attorney. Okay, these are baseball. Okay, and there's a certain brand that I always have to look at it. Trafalgar. I don't know. Trafalgar. And I got these. These are cloth. I've got these. Look at this. This is like stamps. Look at that. That's really cool. And they're cloth. So these aren't stretchy. And then see how, now this pair right here I wore the most. This right here, and I'm not kidding, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't know how old these are, because this was one of my first original pairs right here. So Vivian, thank you. But see, this is what makes them braces. Okay, you see the two holes there? Okay, because they they button in, okay? They button into the pants, okay? Where braces, suspenders clip, braces button, and it was, what was that, what were you gonna say?
I would love to see what, or I wonder what someone thinks that's just joining us.
Yeah, we got, these are not snakes. Then I had them, another pair of maroon, and I've only got two more. And then I had these, and then I will say though, this was truly the most. This is that yellow, canary yellow. Mm-hmm. So, Card Shop Reality, yeah. I'm sorry I let you down. But thank you, Amanda. But Harvey E. Warren IV was the first tax manager I worked for. Total stud. Worked in his office, door closed. Everybody else, door open. You'd go in, he was very formal. Mm-hmm. He was a total stud. He seemed like he was so much older. He's probably like 28, because I was 21. I just turned 21 and started my career in downtown Dallas with a CPA firm downtown. Oh my gosh, it was in a tall building, 20th floor, forget about it. I mean, I had arrived. Anyways, I noticed that Harvey E. Warren IV, who didn't eat with anybody, he was a good-looking man. He reminded me of a movie star, but he wore braces. So one of the things that I had read in a book called Swimming with the Sharks, and then another book, What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School, in one of those books, they talked about dressing the level that you want to get at. So my mindset was, well, if I want to be a manager someday, then what are the managers wearing? Well, here's Harvey E. Warren IV, and he's wearing braces. So I went to JCPenney's, grabbed myself some, what I thought was braces. Show up the next day, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And I go and sit down, and then Harvey, he's like, hey, come in real quick. So I went into his office, and as gracious as can be, he said, hey, close the door. We always close it anyways, but he's like, hey, real quick. He's like, I'm loving it, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. And he stood up, and he explained to me, he said, listen, if you're a professional, you wanna wear braces. Braces button in, okay? What you're wearing is to hold your pants up. Okay, and he wasn't trying to be derogatory, but he said, that's why you see like a janitor, because they've got all their keys hanging off of them, so they need suspenders to keep their pants up. So go back to wherever you got those and get you the kind that button in. And ever since then, every single time I talk about Harvey E. Warren IV, are we doing a toast?
We are to.
We're doing it to. Oh, look at these glasses right here. How convenient. They have J's on them. I love it.
It's your JJ.
Right here, you have to do it so we can see, what are we drinking here? I know what we're drinking. Johnny Walker Blue.
Yep.
Boom. To Gordon Gekko. Salute. Wow, that smells good. I'll just do a little taste here. So on the PPP, let me get back to the PPP. I'm guessing maybe 50 billion on the PPP. Definitely unofficial. But I also say that because today being Wednesday, I cannot imagine that we hit next week and there's still PPP money. And by the way, today is the 6th. Next, when is it? Friday? When's the 15th?
The 15th is next Friday.
Check this out. Next Friday, let's see, 97, 98, 99, 2000. Is this my 23rd? Mm-hmm. It'll be my 23-year anniversary for my CPA firm. Yes, thank you. Started it May 15th, 1997, before the turn of the century. Thank you, Gene. Before the turn of the century. Andrew, what's up? What's up? So, and Jen, what's going on? So on the PPP funds, by the time it's my firm's anniversary next Friday on May 15th, I don't think there's going to be PPP funds. And so I know of a couple of you. I don't know if you're on. What are you doing? Like it's people I'm interacting with, not clients. Like, what are you doing? You're still at the same bank that you gave the applications to when PPP 1 first came out and you still don't have any? Like, this money came out like last Monday, okay? What are you waiting on? Maybe it'll work out, you know, but I've done all I can. I've done the coach. I've gotten mad. I've gotten beat red. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Someone's wishing me congratulations. Roy, Bach TV. Oh, thank you so much. Vivian and Bach and Jean. Get back to the coach mode. Let's see, Nancy H. and Robbie, thank you so much. Glenda, Serena. Oh, goodness. Kleber? Maybe. No. Kleber? Clever?
Yeah, clever.
And let's see. Aw, thank you, Amanda. Twisty Bros and Mickety Mac. All right. Jump Back. Mickety Mac. No. Ron. And Car Shop Reality. So here's the thing. The smaller banks are the ones that are going to be left next week, in my opinion. I think the bigger banks are tapped out, and I think they're ready to tap out. I think they're just tired. They're worn out. Their staff have been working their tails off. They've gotten criticism in the press. So from my perspective, if you are wanting this money and you haven't gotten it from the bank you're at, then go to a smaller bank. And then if you don't end up with PPP funds, this is what I'm convinced of, Amanda, that you didn't really need it. That's all. I mean, no harm, no foul. I'm not going to be mad at you that you didn't get it, because it just probably means you didn't really need it. I just ask that if you don't get it, you don't use it as an excuse for anything. You don't use it as an excuse for your landlord or your employees or why your business isn't doing as well as it could. All right, so listen. Today, if you just joined us, is Gordon Gecko's birthday around the world. Look at this. This right here is from Taiwan. Okay, this was a poster that I got. I got it off of eBay, and it says Fo Wall, which means Wall Street. And this is definitely, you're going to see here in a minute why people were like, you know, is there something wrong with JJ? But I haven't bought anything Wall Street in a long time. This right here survived the corrosion. No, it's not corrosion. War. There's some war, okay, that this survived in a video store. You can see right here, no one had a video, any kind. No, this isn't the one. I'm lying. This one's from Mexico. This one's, I have so many of them. This one's from Mexico, but worldwide. And then this right here, Michael Douglas autographed picture. This was, I think, the first thing I've got of Michael Douglas autographed. But this was after he did the famous greed is good speech, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and why really greed is good is not as terrible as everybody thinks. So if you can't get PPP money, it's probably because you don't have employees, right? So then you want to look at the EIDL. I talked about it at the beginning, so check it out. I got a video talking about it. If you're not in the agricultural business, you may be out of luck, but you might want to go in and get applied for the EIDL. Now, let me tell you this on the EIDL, because I'm going to pop over and talk about unemployment, and I'm going to pop over and talk about the PPP. But we're going to focus on unemployment for a minute. But the EIDL, if you get both EIDL and PPP, just use them for different purposes. The next thing is, if you get EIDL, it should have, in my mind, zero effect on your PUA, the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, okay? Now, if you're getting PPP and you're getting PUA, and then you're getting PPP, I'm sorry, if you're getting PUA, PPP, and PUA, I think you're okay. I got a video coming out about it tonight, and it's basically how to have your cake and eat it too. Oh, I should have called it that, how to have your cake and eat it too. But anyways, I got a great email from somebody, I think it was Dale maybe. But anyways, they got PUA, it's retroactive, they're in a state they got on the stick, okay? They're self-employed. Then they're gonna get PPP, hadn't come in yet, and then they might need PUA later. So I had indicated that if you got your PUA and then you pause it while you're spending your PPP, and then you pick up PUA after, there should be no issues on that. We're not talking about any kind of double dip, in my opinion. So I'm going to talk about that further. Do we have any emails to get to?
We always have emails.
We always have emails.
And I wanted to just give a shout out to Kelly Thomas, who is on. Also to remind everyone to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to give us thumbs up. There's 191 watching and only 57 thumbs up. So give a thumbs up for Gordon Gecko's birthday today, as well as
Absolutely.
JJ the CPA.
All right, so I don't know, can you see this right there? Okay, it's not Gordon Gecko, okay? Got some JJ cufflinks going today. So even though it's Gordon Gecko's birthday, it's still JJ the CPA here. I do have one here I'm going to show you in a minute. It's kind of the main thing that you're going to see. But I do want you to know that Wall Street did go around the entire world. I don't know what language that is right there. But today is Gordon Gecko's birthday. Why is it so important to me? Why is it? Well, because... and I won't go into all the details, but when I was in high school, okay, because this movie came out when I was leaving my prior life, so to speak, but when I was in high school, I didn't have a good home life. The state had removed me from my home 3 different times. I was awarded to the state, not permanently. Anyways, I needed to get out of Dodge. And I met up with my guardian ad litem, who was a former NFL player. I wish I could remember his name, but he was a super great guy, former NFL player, big white guy with a big old beard, super, big teddy bear. But anyways, he said, we need to figure out that when you get out of this life, who are you going to be? So I'll just add to this that I grew up under an assumed name. My mom had taken me from my dad. I was a missing child growing up. And so I went under a different name growing up. It was actually Joshua Crane, which is the last name of my stepdad. And anyways, when I went off to college, I skipped my senior year of high school, went off to college. I grew up in Seattle, went to college actually for 1 year in a small school in Nebraska on a baseball scholarship and an academic scholarship. But when I got there, I was like, okay, I've got to now go by my legal name, which is what? I didn't know. Didn't really know my name. It was Joshua Jenson, okay? Meaning I grew up Joshua Crane. It was never legally changed. I knew that that wasn't my real name, but I did not know how to spell, or I didn't even know my last name. So when I was leaving Seattle, and dealing with that guardian ad litem, he had helped me find a counselor in this small town in Nebraska. And we started talking about, well, who's Joshua Jenson going to be? Well, at that time, okay, this movie came out, right? Here's Gordon Gekko, right? Money Never Sleeps. Amanda got this for me. And this is a piece of art that literally hangs in my living room. It's probably the only thing that I have out now, right? Other than what's in my office. But that movie came out, Wall Street, okay? And, you know, when my son, Cooper, watched Wall Street for the first time, I don't know what age he was, but he was like, Dad, he's like, Gordon Gekko's kind of a bad guy. And I was like, well, yeah, you're right. I guess he is, you know. But here's the thing. It wasn't Gordon Gekko, okay? It was, I mean, look at this right here. I mean, just look at the poster, okay? So when I was going into college, okay, and this movie was hitting VHS, I mean, look at that. Gordon Gekko, he's got the cigar, and there's Bud Fox. By the way, there's another autographed picture of this. And anyways, this right here was a movie that was, here's what your life could look like in the sense of the suit, the tie, right? Cufflinks, the watch, the car, country club. Now, I did know my grandfather growing up. He was the only relative that I ever got to see growing up. He knew where we were. My mom had convinced him that there was a reason no one else could know. But long story short, my grandfather and Gordon Gekko, okay? My grandfather wore pinstripe suits, seersucker suits, you know, the white shoes in the summer, country club, you know, had the watch and the car and the beach house and all that stuff. And everybody loved him. He was a CPA. And you got Gordon Gekko over here in the financial world, right? With Bud Fox. What I was attracted to was the way that Bud Fox, okay, another autographed picture here. This is with Martin Sheen here, which you all know that's Bud Fox's real dad, but he also played his dad in the movie Wall Street, the original one here. But I had a good client of mine that gave this to me as just a for fun thank you. But it was this guy right here, Bud Fox, okay? And what I saw with Bud Fox was you hustle, you work, you get up early, you're consistent, you call someone every single day, you do what you say, okay? Now, did this guy affect this guy's ethics? Yes. But I think what's played into it is, I would say that, like any CPA, but I've been pretty freaking boisterous about ethics, right? So I learned here that that's not a good thing. But what I saw with this guy, right, is the language, the drive, right? And I'm not the only one. There are plenty of people out there that love Wall Street. But to me, that movie that's what I want to do. That's what I want to sound like. That's what I want to dress like. Because where I grew up, I didn't know anybody that wore a tie. I mean, maybe if I was at a funeral, I didn't know anybody that owned their own business. I certainly didn't know anyone that had money. And if they did, I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't even know what a Jaguar was. But when I was visiting with that counselor, let's see. When I was visiting with that counselor, here's another one. This is Wall Street 2. This is all the cast that was on Wall Street 2 that had any name that signed this as well. But anyways, as it relates to the drive and getting after business, then here we go. Getting after business, that's why I really latched onto that movie, Wall Street. And it kind of stuck with me, and I enjoyed the quotes, and then when I was in college. So anyways, that's how I know that it's Gordon Gekko's birthday, and that's why I am having fun with it. But I'll tell you this, I don't think I've recognized Gordon Gekko's birthday in about 4 years. I mean, used to kind of have fun with it with my buddies, but I haven't probably about the last 4 years. but it was something that I had mentioned, and then our good friend, Card Shop Reality, which we know his real name.
We do know his real name.
But we're keeping his identity secret.
Mm-hmm.
He hinted on it. He grasped it. I love it. So guess what? He's in the club.
He is in the club. Of course, Card Shop's in the club.
Yeah, he's in the club because he knew 5'6", right? See? So anyways, thanks for listening to all that. I think that if we're just pulling it back, okay, that's where some of this intensity comes. This is where that intensity comes for you, for the ones that are watching videos, that are tuning in live, which I so appreciate. But that's where the intensity comes in what it is that I do. And I think it's played well into my kids. So I'm happy that Gordon Gecko and Omar Abbott Slater CPA would be considered, in essence, my heroes, my mentors, for better or worse, right? Any mentor we all pick, right? Probably other than Jesus, they got their flaws. And is greed good? Maybe. We'll talk about that in a little while. Do we want to go through some emails?
Yeah, we can go through some emails.
All right, we're going to go through some emails. Thank you for that. And what do we got here? Almost, how many we got here? 81 thumbs up. Oh, good. We got a thumbs down from somebody. Here's the thing about the thumbs down is that they're worth the same to YouTube as a thumbs up. YouTube doesn't see it any different. They just see interaction. When someone clicks thumbs up or thumbs down, YouTube sees it one way. So people that are like, oh, I'm gonna give it a thumbs down, it actually helps. So I don't care if we have thumbs up or thumbs down. What's our first question, Amanda?
This is from Joshua. Hello, JJ.
Joshua F?
Joshua F.
All right, Joshua F is on, I think.
You mentioned we cannot double dip. Finally, I got my PPP May 1st. Today I came to my office and got a letter and an email from EDD stating I was approved. Saw in the email that on May 4th, certain money is coming my way, I guess by mail. So how do I go about this? I know I can put things on hold, withdraw, and later reapply, but if I get a check on this in the coming days, do I just return the check? Do I keep it and not cash it until after the 8 weeks of PPP? Thanks for all your hard work.
Well, Joshua F., thanks for being on. I'm glad we got your question. Let's see. Depot, yes. And with that, he said he got EIDL. He got a letter. Let me tell you this right now.
EDD.
EDD. Joshua, will you email me again? Did you mean EIDL? I bet you did, but I want to make sure I answer the question correctly. But I will tell you this: if you were saying EIDL and the autocorrect probably took you from EIDL to EDD, I'm sure, but I want to double check. But let me tell you this: I'm a little bit interested in what in the world that is, because I don't know of anybody, unless we hear it here, that has gotten something by mail related to the EIDL.
Tony Leon just said EDD is California UI.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So EDD, gotcha. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do PPP at the same time as the PUA. I've got a video coming out tonight, Joshua. I will, basically, I just have to finish writing out the description. I've already shot it. I've already got the thumbnail on it. So I'll tell you what, when we're done with this, I will release that video and it'll walk through it. But at the end of the day, just not at the same time. In terms of cashing a check, I mean, gosh, if you're getting a check, that would be a way to control it. Just know this, that you will need to disclose that when you go for PPP forgiveness. I don't think you need to send it back, because PUA or EDD could be retroactive depending on when you applied, and you do qualify to have those dollars up until PPP. But then after PPP, then you could do the PUA. So I don't think I'd send it back. I think I would investigate before you send anything back, and then just try your best to follow your compass there, which I know you are, on how to go about it, because there's just no precedence there. Thank you, Joshua.
This is from Tony L. Hi JJ, first off, thanks to you and Amanda for all the help during these crazy last few weeks. I'm deeply appreciative, and I know there are thousands more that must feel the same. Here are my 2 questions. First one, can I send back my already dispersed PayPal PPP funds and continue with a local credit union that just informed me of an approval for 1,000 more? Both approved me yesterday, but PayPal is really quick with the disbursement. It's not necessarily about the differential, but I've heard that as far as forgiveness, it'll be better to deal with a local credit union. Is there any truth to that?
Oh, wow. Who's this? Tony?
Tony L. He's a regular.
Tony. Oh, nice. Tony, are you on with us? I know we got Tony YU, and then we know our other Tony, our great friend Tony.
Yeah, we'll see if he's on.
Let's see if he pops up. Yes, here we go, Tony.
Yay.
I'm loving this question because that is genius. I hadn't thought of it that way. So let's see, Tony from Brooklyn, I'm loving that. Well, Tony, when we're up in the Northeast, I hope that we will be able to meet.
Absolutely.
We're gonna, as we travel around, we plan to, in a fun way, you know, try and, you know, have an event, so to speak, where we can meet people and just say hi, and not that anybody would be like, oh, it's JJ, you know, like they would if it was, you know,
Whatever.
some like
Whatever.
Brett Michaels.
As long as we don't get a bunch of groupies, we'll be cool.
Anyways, we're talking about Tony here from Brooklyn.
Yes.
All right, let's stick with this.
Yes, card shop. That's at he said Amanda and the Mafia at the New Jersey Cigar Bar.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so Tony, I love the question because I actually agree with you. I was getting ready in my mind to go, you know what, just go with who gave you the money first, but holy moly, excellent point, fabulous, because you're right. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a crapshoot on how this forgiveness thing goes. My concern with dealing with the bigger banks is it's going to be more automated and more just, well, give us this, give us this, give us this. We'll let you know. Where with the credit union, you're going to probably sit down with that person, and not that you're going to be able to talk them into anything or convince them of stuff, you know, and whatnot. Not that you would at all. But here's what I would do. Here's how I would go about it, because this will ensure that you don't get in trouble, is tell the credit union, because they're going to be motivated to want you to take their money, right? Because they're going to get the fee. But talk to the credit union, and here's all I would say. Hey, I'm coming in to sign the document. Well, I guess you're not going in, right? Well, send me the documents, and then hey, I'm getting a loan with y'all, but it turns out PPP, I didn't think I was getting anywhere with PPP, so, or whatever the truth is. I'm not trying to coach you here to tell a lie, and I know you would never tell a lie, Tony, but nonetheless, my point is with the bank, I wouldn't over-explain it. I would just say, hey, I had applied with PayPal, wasn't getting anywhere, had heard, I'm assuming this would be true, had heard that people were getting rejected, so I abandoned the process and came to you. And thank you so much. I love it. And so how do I do this? I want to send that money back to PayPal. How do I do it so that I can accept your funds? I wouldn't bring up the fact that there's a differential because it's irrelevant. I wouldn't even really bring up the fact of the reasoning that you gave about the ease of dealing with someone more local. I would just make it as, I abandoned that process, because I'm assuming that's what you did if you went to the local bank, right? I mean, it was like, well, I'm not hearing, people are getting denied. PayPal seems to be confused on actually how you qualify, because people were getting turned away because of credit scores and things to that effect. So I think it's very reasonable that in the environment of like, hey, I need to get this PPP money, that I think it's A-okay that you went to that bank. But what I would do is just check with them. But if you go with it as, hey, I'm getting with you, PPP has also done this, so how do I get the money back to PPP? Because they may very well say, oh yeah, you know what, no problem. You know, why don't you just give it to us and then we'll take it back for you, or send it to this address or whatever. But at least they're aware of it. That's really the big thing. Even if they have no idea how to solve it for you, you've made them aware of it. And if you can, I'd make a phone call on that first, and they can hear your voice, and they know that you're not somebody that's trying to scam the system. They're going to know that we're trying to take care of your own business. So thank you, Tony. I appreciate that very much.
This is his other question.
Oh, okay.
I'm a single member LLC, but for the most intent and purposes, I'm a Schedule C wielding sole proprietor. PayPal didn't process the loan via my business name, rather just my legal name and social security number, with the funds being dispersed into my personal bank account. Do you foresee any issues arising in regards to forgiveness?
When was that email sent? Just now, or?
3/18, that was whenever he sent.
He sent both?
Yeah, he sent 2 questions on one email.
Tony, feel free to email me on this, or you can tell us right here. The credit union, is that in a different ID number or in your social, the approval that you got from the credit union? But I'll tell you this, whether it's your social or whether it's your EIN, okay, it doesn't matter, because you can apply under your social. Now, if you applied for the same business, EIN and social, then you're going to want to go with the EIN, because that's what's associated with your business. So hopefully that helps. Let's see, the credit union wants me to open a biz account. Yeah, open it, Tony. Do it. Throw that money into it. Let it sit there. As you need it, pull it out. So, Tony, are you a Schedule C? I file taxes with the SS only. Okay, yeah, no worries. They're going to open up a business account for you. It'll just be a DBA. It'll be under your social. No worries, but do it. The money will go in there, then pull it out. If you're a sole proprietor, then automatic forgiveness, as you probably know, is take that line 31 on your Schedule C, divided by 52 times 8. That's the automatic forgiveness. You can pull that money out all at once. The remainder, spend it as you incur the expenses. Go to my website, jjthecpahelp.com, and look on the forgiveness page, because I've got a list directly from the SBA of what's included in the rest of what you can spend those dollars on. You don't have to spread out that over 8 weeks, meaning you can pull the money out all at once. And then if, I'm assuming both of them, of course, both applications are in your social, so still follow the same advice as it relates to the picking the credit union. So this right here, okay, if this doesn't tell you anything, all right, so this is Wall Street, right? Okay, that's Gordon Gekko right there. And my daughter, Chloe, made this for my birthday 6 years ago, back in 2014. So I would have been 42. And it's got Wall Street. Even my name is branded with my kiddos, so JJ the CPA. And then this right here is a quote. And if you really want to see something, if you go to the playlist, and I think it says for fun or comedy or something like that, it's a playlist. Anyways, my kids are in there quoting, okay? My son's quoting Glengarry Glen Ross cleanly, and Chloe is on video quoting this, which is, "Wake up, will you, pal? If you're not inside, you are outside, okay?" And I'm not talking about some $400,000 a year working Wall Street stiff, flying first class and feeling comfortable. I'm talking about liquid. Rich enough to have your own jet. Rich enough to not waste time. 50, $100 million, buddy. A player or nothing. Now, you had what it took to get into my office. The real question is whether you've got what it takes to stay. So anyways, boom. I didn't even get choked up, mostly because it's my daughter that made me something right there. But anyways, so you've probably seen this. That just sits right over there. And at the end of the day, we're going to talk about this, and then all of a sudden people's blood's going to boil, because we're going to talk about why I think there's a way, possibly, maybe, a little bit, possibly, if you hear me out, that greed is good. Because it's not the greed that you're thinking. It's not the greed that you're thinking. All right, hey, so Tony, thanks you for the question. I really appreciated the angle, and hopefully that helps. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all the support. And oh, we got 107 likes, thumbs up.
I love it. Thank
Really
you guys.
appreciate that.
This one is from Sean, but I want to show you Sean's name. Like, he has the coolest name.
Oh.
Yeah, he has a cool name, but since we don't do last names on email, so.
Sean C.
Sean C.
Sean C. The name's not Sean C, it's Sean
C.
C.
Good evening, JJ. I watch your videos and I love them. You do a great job breaking down so much. It really helps answer so many questions. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm sure you're swamped right now, but I have a specific circumstantial question pertaining to my small business. I am a contractor who's been in business 7 years. I had only expanded bringing on a new truck and crew the last quarter last year. In August, barely 4 months into last year, and then had to lay them off in February. Would that bring my average payroll costs for the last year down, or can that be considered in when applying for the loan to enable me to bring both guys back on board and be able to pay them for their wages and still be eligible for forgiveness?
That is a great question, and hopefully Sean is on. But hey, Kleber, I appreciate that. And Steve Young, yeah, I appreciate you noticing that you've seen it in the close-up. Tracy, thank you so much. And CSR says I need to wear braces on Friday. So I may do that.
Okay.
So Sean C. So here's the deal. You're just easily going to achieve forgiveness. I can just tell you that right now. And the reason for that is that what they're going to look at is what were you doing on February 15th, as well as all these other periods of time. And so if you had employees and you had regular payroll going into this PPP era, and you're not increasing your payroll because of trying to get PPP forgiveness, you're gonna be fine. Because here's the deal, this is where when we read in that at least 75% needs to be used for salaries and wages, right, and those benefits. The real reason that's stated is that because you can't use more than 25% in terms of achieving forgiveness on things like rent, utilities, the interest. But if you're using more than 75%, then whatever amount that's going to be will achieve forgiveness in the exact circumstances that you are in, because your payroll was doing this in essence, right? And then it went down, right? So you had a very off year in 2019. Sounds like you're recovering, which I'm glad for that. But then for 2020, in essence, I get it. Your payroll's higher than whatever that average was. And that's where it is not an exact 75% that has to be achieved when allocating out the funds for forgiveness. It's that it's at least 75%. And so in your circumstances, just spending what you've normally been spending, you're going to have more than 75% of your money go towards payroll. So you should be fine on that. And I will tell you this, it might be too late, depending on where you are in the process, but all of my clients in PPP1, every single one of them, we did the last 12 months. Okay, we did the last 12 months of payroll. We did second, third, fourth of quarters of 19 and first quarter 2020, because I got with the payroll companies and said, hey, I'm really gonna need these 941s. But the reason that I did that is that the law states the last 12 months. Now, SBA came out and said, hey, you know what, this is gonna be a lot easier if people can just base it on 19. They should have done it from the beginning, because how easy is it to verify it? Because you would have already filed it by the time you're doing PPP, meaning you would have already filed everything related to 2019. So good luck to you. You should have no problem achieving forgiveness, especially if you even have some other rent expenses and whatnot. So thank you for the question, Sean. And if I didn't say it, Tracy, thank you for the comment. I appreciate that, and so good to see you. Tracy, I believe I remember your email correctly, so be sure that I did a video. I don't mean to point at you, but I did a video, not last night, but the night before, and I had you in mind, and it's a video about employers potentially getting in trouble if they don't document their employees that are staying on PUA. And the PUA might be something that the employees are having to pay back. So you're a wonderful, if I've got the right Tracy, you're a wonderful employer and you're really doing a great job taking care of your employees. I understand your employee's position. We had read your question on the video on live, so hopefully I'm okay in talking about your circumstances. And no one knows what Tracy I'm talking about, Amanda.
No.
Okay. But anyways, at the end of the day, check out that video.
This one is from Jeff, and just FYI, Jeff, and JJ will give a really quick answer, but he will also direct you to a video that will answer this because this was really common during the first phase of PPP. Hello, I'm at my wit's end. I started my business officially incorporated in Delaware on 2/4/20. No one will approve me for the PPP loan because I don't have any tax documents yet. What do I do or need to do to get approved?
Yeah. Well, you know what? That is a different twist. So good job pulling that one out of the haystack, Amanda, because, and who was this? Jeff. Yeah, that is a tough one. And here's the frustrating thing is that the SBA indicated, and I don't think they have, but the SBA had indicated they were going to come out with further guidelines to address that. And so if you don't mind, I might need you to do a little footwork here. But the SBA came out with guidelines about 48 hours ago. Maybe it's 56 hours ago. But anyways, it's on my website, okay? jjthecpahelp.com, and go to the forgiveness page, and I have something that says latest SBA FAQs. Go and look at that because I'm just not remembering. There's so many of the FAQs. I'm not remembering if they did further expand on what you do if you started business right then. So I know you're not going to have the tax documents that they're talking about, but there's supposed to be provisions because the requirement is you're in business on February 15th. You were. Now, it's going to be based on payroll. So it's going to be based on the payroll that you would have had, okay, right in that era. So if you actually look, it's kind of weird. I think you'd be able to include payroll from 2/1 to 2/29, and that would be your monthly potentially. But check out that SBA. I'm sorry, I don't have any more real guidelines on you because I don't think the SBA has had time to come out and address it. And it does make sense to me that the banks aren't finding a way because I bet the banks don't even know if the SBA hasn't cleared it up. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but do check out those guidelines or FAQs. Check out the FAQs. So, all right. Well, thank you for the question. Good luck to you.
Tamer wants to know employee retention credit 50% up to a $10,000 for the quarter or for the year.
Year. I love it. Yeah. Great question. And it's, you know what? I can see how you'd have that question, but it's for the year. Yeah. And then you probably know this, but it only is for 2020. So thank you for that. Great way to ask a question.
Yeah.
Love it.
Just quick and to the point.
Boom.
All right. This one is from Patrick. I have a question. How can I become an IRS tax preparer? I have 3 CPAs. I have 3 CPAs have done me some unforgettable them that cost me money. Also, thanks for the great information and knowledge that you have been sharing with us. Can you please help me?
John Hamilton, I love you. John's like, a lot of these questions, it's on the playlist. And, we had Brad, another fellow CPA. I think he's been busy, hadn't been on in a while.
Yeah.
But anyways, Homer Dog reminded me in an email. He was like, hey, listen, a lot of these questions, they put them in your videos, and so you should remind people to go to your videos. So I'm trying to get a little better at that. Mm-hmm. But anyways, go to the IRS website, irs.gov, and then just do a search for enrolled agent. And, is this individual on? Are you on?
I don't know. That was email was sent yesterday. So.
Okay. Desirable place, Aloha, JJ does CPA. Let's see, Twisty Twisty Bros. JJ says in many videos and just said 5 minutes ago, pay yourself all at once, no problem. Yeah, that's on the, just real quick, that is on the self-employed because it's just automatic forgiveness. So thank you, Twisty. All right, cool. I love it. This is becoming like I think we're going live in part so that these other fine people can get on and help other people.
Yep.
It's kind of like what Tony's talking about. We set up, got to talk about it for a minute, but we set up, we as in Tony, breathed life into it, and Amanda and I are helping with it as well, but Tony anyways, down in Florida, said, you know what, we need to get a foundation put together. JJ, will you head it up? And they put more than seed money into it. And then we've had a couple of videos. Thank you so much. Okay, great. Thank you so much to Jason and Tina that have already donated, and to Tony. I think that's...
No, we got one more, but Roy.
And Roy, yes. Roy. We got a CPA that gave as well, so I really appreciate that. Patrick, yes, I'm on. Okay, so Patrick was the one that's wanting to do IRS rep. Yeah, so enrolled agent, go to irs.gov, just do word search enrolled agent. They've got it all rolled out there. It's very inexpensive, not that that matters to you. I'm not saying at all you couldn't afford any class, but all I'm saying is what's nice is it's very accessible, very inexpensive to do the classes. Now I will tell you this, and I know you're up for the challenge, Patrick, but it is a difficult test. I don't know that I would want to take it, Amanda. If they came to me and they're like, well, you can't practice without it, well, then I would do it. But we do have some people who have been on, and they're a CPA and an EA, maybe even a CFP. But I'm telling you, the EA exam is no walk in the park. It's a little bit rigorous. So anyways, good luck to you on that. And you're doing a great thing because you're going above and beyond. And the best benefit of being an enrolled agent is that you will be able to represent your clients before the IRS.
I wanted to just call out that Steve said something really important. So Steve said, JJ, take Amanda to Hawaii because she will love it. That's just really, that's important.
Yeah,
so.
Steve, he's probably watched for a while.
He has.
Is this Steve Young?
Yeah, Steve Young. Yeah. All right, our next question is...
Oh, Brad, you've been on every day. Well, I thought Brad was Homer Dog, so I've been looking for Homer Dog.
No, his name is Brad.
I know that, but who's Homer Dog?
I thought Brad said something about Homer Dog. I don't know.
We must have two identities.
Okay. Our next
one. I guess I've been looking for Homer Dog.
Oh.
No, I don't know why I'm getting them.
Yeah. Too many people. So many people, and we love it. We love it. We love it. All right.
Yeah, and Brad, I know you've been on every day, so I'm talking out my...
They're saying take a sip of your...
Oh, right here, Johnny Walker Blue, right? Oh, we need to talk about...
Yes, Brad, we did receive your donation.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Yes, that's who I was talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, because I said Brad, yes. Thank you so much. Yes, we did get that. Boom. Hopefully you got what we sent, right? We got that you graciously sent the Benjamin on. Yeah. Will you go and get that bowl of cigar tubes?
Yes.
We do have to talk about what Gordon Gecko's
Here's this from Andrew, and he is
favorite
on,
cigar is, and Card Shop Reality. Don't say it. I'll trust you because you're a man of your word or a woman of your word. I don't want to give it away. But anyways, don't say it, but I'll be curious to know if you know what Gordon Gecko's favorite cigar is. Oh goodness, do we have one in here?
Yep, right, well we have that spot.
Okay, so we have that one. And then if it's not, maybe I left it in the, wait, what's this? Maybe I left it, okay, we have a box.
Another?
Yeah, there's a cigar humidor. See, these tubes here, I think it's right next to it. But I love getting cigars that have these tubes, and I save them. And yep, must be in that. But I think you all have seen my kind of mock, no, it's, you know, the humidor. They're on the floor. I got 4 of them stacked on top of each other. And I think that there's in there. So Gordon Gekko, we know his favorite cigars because on Gekko's birthday, Bud Fox gets to go in and meet Gordon Gekko. And by the way, the reason we're talking about Gordon Gekko today is that it's his birthday if you just joined us. And you'll have to go back and listen to why Gordon Gekko is, why I'm a fan of Gordon. But anyways, so it was on Gordon's birthday that Bud Fox took a box of these to his office, and that allowed him to weasel his way into Gordon Gekko's office after calling 69 days in a row. But, okay, awesome, Brad. We put that in a special box for you there. We didn't ship any others because you had a number of things. But it is right here. Is it going to be the non-reflection? Davidoff cigars. Let's see. Davidoff cigars is Gordon Gekko's. And if you can find Davidoff cigars from Cuba, those are the ones. And I was in the Cayman Islands a couple of years ago, and I was able to get these. I was on a business trip, and they were Cubans. Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. Depot, yes, automatic. Okay.
Brad Johnson says iPad versus cell phone, different accounts. So that's
Okay, got it. All right. All right, well then I had it. I didn't even get to the, I didn't even get to it. Yeah, what do we got? Is God Dozer on?
He is not.
Okay.
He's out.
He's working today.
He's working.
He's working today.
Right. This is from Andrew Finance. I applied way back in early April for PPP loan through my bank, with which I have a business account through. I'm sole proprietor, and at the time I applied for the loan, I had no hope of income as I contract as a therapist for a school district. I found out yesterday that I was approved for the loan and funds were dispersed into my business account. Long story short, I was able to start slowly accumulating limited work via virtual teletherapy services while my application was being processed. My question is, now that I'm garnering some income, what can I use from the PPP and still be on the up and up? Would it be different? Would it be the difference between what I will be able to earn and what I was going to take from the PPP to cover my payroll?
And who's this?
This is Andrew.
Andrew. Is Andrew on with us?
He was.
He was. Well, I hope he's still on. Hopefully he's stuck. Let's see. All right. Depot. Nope. All right. Well, listen, Andrew, thanks for watching. Thanks for the email, and good news for you, my friend. I'm sorry that you lost revenue, because I do know that most of the time the PPP funds for the sole proprietors don't really replace truly what was lost, because it's after all the expenses, right? All that to say, as my stepfather would say, right? We reconciled many years later, but it's better than a sharp stick in the eye, right? So with this, I would say the good news is that you will not have to worry about what you've made or what you're gonna make or taking the difference, because you take line 31 of that Schedule C that was used to get the PPP funds, divide it by 52 weeks, and then multiply it by 8 weeks, and then that's your automatic loan forgiveness. And someone else had a quick question about that, but yeah, it's just automatic. You just take that dollar amount, automatic. The question there, and this is a video I got coming out shortly after we end the live, is, you know, I think there's a way you can get your PUA and PPP if you're sole proprietor, but you gotta do it carefully. And if you're doing a 1, 2, 3 and you're not double dipping, So listen to that video as well, and best of luck to you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. I'm just double checking. Hey, JJ, been following you ever since you've been going live. Thank you, Maverick Construction. Thank you so much for your help. As of now, 3 of my coworkers have received PPP money, as well as my wife. Thank you. All right. Awesome. I love it. Good job. And you know what? Maverick did it perfectly, because Maverick Construction is making sure all those around Maverick Construction got what they could as it relates to this. And then most likely Maverick Construction, I know Maverick is saying that that 3 of their co-workers, but Maverick Construction might be like the company that pays the contractors. But nonetheless, I'm glad that you got it, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for letting me know. I'm glad that I saw that. Thank you so much. Andrew Johns on. All right, hopefully you caught that.
Mary Ann, we applied for PPP on 5/1 and were funded on 5/4. I'm having concerns about all the changing rules. Can we send the PPP loan back and then apply for the employee retention credit? Thank you for any help. You have been great to watch over the past month.
Who's this?
Mary Ann.
Is this Mary Ann as in Mary Ann MLB? No, okay. Is Mary Ann on? Maybe not. Wow, that is an interesting question. You know, this is why we like the emails, because I have not had that situation posed. So here's somebody that got PPP, but all the rules that are changing. And, oh, my wife is the office manager. Love it. Gosh darn. You know, it's better to get PPP most of the time. It kind of depends. I mean, if you were a circumstance where maybe that other company we were talking about and they didn't get formed until the 4th of February, so they're not getting PPP. So like that company that have wages, ERC would be great for. You know, it's 50% up to 10,000 of wages, so 5,000 tax credit per employee, right? So you take the employee retention credit, what did you pay that employee, okay? Times 50%, boom, that's your tax credit. You get to apply that 50% percentage on up to $10,000 of wages compensation to your employee. So this is like W-2 employee, taxes withheld employee. So you might run the math. I do feel like, oh goodness, I don't know if you would run into a technicality on that or not. Maybe check with the bank, but there's no guidance on this. There's really no guidance on this. And the part that there's no guidance on is you took possession of the PPP funds, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And you just got them, right? Just got them. Mm-hmm. Have you signed loan documents? Have you signed loan documents? I'm guessing probably yes, because they gave you the money. So, you know what? I think you better just call the bank and then run the math on it. But there's no official answer on that one. So best of luck on that one. Check with the bank and then just run the math on it. Because here's the deal on the employees and the PPP forgiveness. You know, spend it on, in essence, spend it on what you got, you know, who you need to pay. Now, I know you can run numbers and go, well, all my employees are on PUA. I already paid them. I can get a credit. So, boy, check with, hopefully you have someone with you running numbers with you. Not that you can't run your own numbers, but maybe have someone run some numbers with you on that. And then don't be too worried about the PPP forgiveness as long as you're just spending it on the categories that are available.
Steven says, Amanda, hello, great work. Ask JJ to bump you up. Can you ask JJ how long after you sign do you get the deposits? Does this open the door to getting other SBA loan while I'm getting the PPP such as 7A?
All right, so it's whenever they give you the money, that is when when the money's dispersed, that's when your 8 weeks start, right? That's what he's inquiring of, right? Yeah. So not when you sign the paperwork. That's how it was actually written in the law. But then the SBA came out and said, no. I think it was on the 6th or 8th of April. Said, no, it's going to be when it's dispersed, which makes sense. The bank has 10 days to get it to you for some reason. But you're in a situation that also, what was the second part of the question? Do you recall?
Does this open the door to getting other SBA loan while I'm getting this PPP, such as 7A?
Yeah, there's no restrictions in getting any of the other loans. So if you need more money than that, then yeah, get in and talk with the bank. The PPP is great, obviously, because you can use it for what it's intended and don't have to pay it back. But yeah, if you qualify for the SBA Express, which is that $25,000, otherwise known kind of as a bridge loan, $25,000 between the $10,000 advance that you don't have to pay back, and then a regular old SBA loan. But nonetheless, good luck to you on that. Thanks for the question.
It's 5:33.
Oh,
so
okay.
Do you want to...
Yep, one more. Go one more question.
All right, one more, and we'll do. This is from Twisty Bros.
Oh, I think Twisty's on, right?
Yeah, they are on. Can I modify my Schedule C if I already filed to not claim deductions on my equipment expenses so I can pay the self-employment tax on it and increase my line 31? Reinvesting in my business hurt me big time.
Yeah. The short answer is you wouldn't want to do that because the long run on this is that I think you might end up paying more self-employment tax. You want to take those deductions. The only thing that you might have available to you as a reason why you would be amending the return, because this might be a reason to amend it regardless of PPP. And that is in the CARES Act. Now, this is assuming you filed your return before the CARES Act was signed into law on March 27th of this year. But in the CARES Act, they changed up bonus depreciation related to real estate. Now, it may not make any difference to you because if it was all on equipment, this doesn't affect any of that. But they, in essence, have changed some things in the depreciation rules as it relates to qualified improvement property. So in the event that you have some of that, you might want to revisit. However, I will tell you this, the IRS is aware of what you filed. The SBA 100% will be comparing whatever you file with your loan to what you filed with the IRS. And they also know if you amended it. So I think you would be cruising for a bruising, regardless of your, meaning like, even if your intention was just, hey, I need to fix something, I'm just saying, they're probably gonna wanna inquire that. Like, I'd probably almost put it as an automatic inquiry, because some of these inquiries that are gonna come into play, especially like on the PUA, and we'll wrap up on this, is that it's too easy to match that stuff up, right? So here's your line 31, right? And they're gonna know that then you amended it, right? However it changed, and then you went and applied. So I hate it because you probably filed on time. It is what it is. I know that you paid less in tax. I don't know that you'd want to make a difference in your depreciation. So check with whoever helped you with your return and just talk to them about the depreciation and with the new tax law. Does that somehow help you? And then you'll want to make a decision quick on what you're doing. And then just know this: at the end, you'll have to be prepared to explain what it is that you did and why. But I'll back up all that to say this: if your only reason to amend the return is to get PPP, I think you're skirting on like wrongdoing. And I know you don't want to do anything wrong, so I'm not accusing you of one thing, because I get where the question comes from. I've had clients ask me the same question. But in the law, basically, if we do anything for the purposes of saving tax, or in a program like this, if you're doing anything in essence to manipulate because you'd already filed, manipulate what you're able to achieve or receive, then the IRS and or the SBA just say, no, not gonna be able to do it. So let's say you don't even get in any trouble, right? They're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, the problem is that I do think you could fall into them going, okay, well, that makes sense. You're not in trouble, but guess what? None of the loans forgiven because you didn't qualify. The SBA doesn't have anything on this. So that's a tough circumstance, and I get where you're coming from on that. And I would just say best of luck to you on that. Look at the EIDL, but I'm sure it's not much relief for you. So, all right. Well, I think I needed to close by telling everybody I had a great client that gave me, I was gonna see, I don't know if it still lights up. Does anything light up right? Let's see. Anything light up? Oh man.
No, the battery's messed up.
Okay. So a great client of mine gave this to me, and I've got the poster that's autographed, and this is autographed here by Michael Douglas, and then that's autographed over there, Daryl Hannah. But then check this out.
Here, you just hold it because that's going to be too close.
No, here, look, it's perfect. So that right there, those two squares, is from the movie. Those are
Negative, like negative slides.
negatives, like back in the day when it was on a reel. And then there's Gordon Gekko's business card right there as well. And then it says the ever so controversial, greed is good. Controversial. Boy, this thing is heavy.
It is heavy.
Such a great client that gave that to me a couple years ago. So what kind of greed could be good? What kind of greed could be good? Well, let me ask you this. In Gekko's speech to Teldar Paper, he talks about greed for life, greed for love, right? Greed for air. So, you know, what I took when I heard that speech, right? I mean, I didn't know what greed was. I had no clue what greed meant. I mean, I have a dictionary, right? But I didn't have a phone to Google it, right? And I knew greed meant like more, give me more. And I know that Gordon Gekko was more, give me more. And that's what got him in trouble, right? But so many times we associate the word greed with bad, with sin. And you know what? Maybe there's no way to not associate the word greed with something bad or a sin. Maybe there's just no way, okay? But this is who JJ the CPA is. I'm gonna find the good in everything and in everyone, including my little over here, what do you call, I don't know what you'd call him, mentor, hero, for lack of a better word, which sounds terrible. But basically, Gordon Gekko over here is an example for me of if you want something, go get it, right? As in greed for life, right? Greed for love. I want more of it. I didn't take it as I want more of it, that I'm going to ruin people's lives and, you know, do something that hurts somebody else. And I got into a discussion because I put it on LinkedIn about a year and a half ago, and I said, is greed still good? Because that's part of the message in Wall Street 2. And I said, you know, I think greed could be good in the right way. And of course, people just lost their minds over this, which I didn't think that would be the case at all. Anyway, so, you know, what kind of greed is good? Well, the kind of greed that makes you work harder, the kind of greed that, you know, excites you and pumps you up. And so maybe that's just not greed at all. Maybe you got to find a whole different word for it. But for me, greed was that. It was just positive. It was a motivator. And when I would say greed is good, it was me in my head late at night studying, or when I was starting my business, or, you know, people put it on a sign, right? So for me, it was just a motivator. And all that's to say is that, you know, be inside your own head, right? what do you think? What do you feel is the right choice? So even like on these questions that I'm answering here that maybe come down to, gosh, should I or shouldn't I? Follow your gut. And as small business owners, big business owners, as individuals, if you think like I do that something is good, okay, then believe that it's good, right? We don't have to look left and right to try and determine if something is good, right? We can just know it up here. And I think as we're coming out of this and businesses are reopening, there's going to be a lot of second guessing, not only of our government, which I think gets us nowhere. There's going to be second guessing of banks, which maybe there should be. There's going to be second guessing of your employees and your customers and your landlord, and second guessing of yourself on how you handled something in your business. So all I'm trying to say is that, at least for me, I know that what is good for me, in my definition, is greed, okay? Greed is good for JJ the CPA on how I define greed, not how you define it, not how someone else defines it, because as I told you in the very beginning, Gordon Gekko has a huge influence on who's sitting before you today, and take it from seeing an example of where having a lack of ethics gets you in trouble. I hope that you've seen from me that I'm on the other spectrum of ethics and trying to do the right thing. So if we're trying to do the right thing with any of this, then we'll come out smelling like roses. So with that being said, a couple of quick things. One, I've got this Group 300 video that I'm releasing every day at 6 a.m. I think it's probably really just for, good night, Clay. I think it's really just for a small group of you. It's not getting a ton of views, but that's okay. But anyways, every day I've got something that just kind of talks about maybe a thought for the day, as in a business owner from a motivation standpoint. Every day I have a JJ the CPA by the numbers. I said every day, but I meant every Wednesday. Video. This Friday I've got a video coming out for CPAs, EAs. Thank you, Twisty. Steve, thank you. Sandra, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm going to do an in-depth look, kind of looking at this whole issue of whether or not we write off expenses from the PPP. And then I'm going to start a series here soon called Learning with JJ the CPA, only because I'm starting to get more questions that are outside of PPP, which I love. Gene, thank you for that. And then tomorrow, I put a link in. I am doing a show. Amanda and I write it. We call it a show because they call it a show. But it's called Futurecast, and it's at 2 p.m. It's $59 for 1 hour, but I am covering issues that Amanda and I came up with that are not in my videos. And the difference with this course, this class, it's a monthly class, a monthly webinar. I get a small, tiny royalty out of it. But if you're interested in some additional information, and it is more meant for the tax professional, but if you've been paying attention to a number of these things, you might be a tax professional, by golly. But nonetheless, I'm going to be covering what's going on in the news right now. But here's why. I'm going to be covering what's going on in the news right now related to taxes and accounting to project where we're going to be on this 6 weeks and 8 weeks from now. So not so much on the numbers and will businesses fail, but kind of looking at the tax outlook and planning and things to that effect. And so it's more technical stuff. And if you sign up, you get the, I guess it's not really the PowerPoint, but you'll get the PDFs that go along with it, the slides, that is. And anyway, so it's a monthly program. I did put a link down below. If you check in, I'd love to hear about it when we go live on Friday. If not, no worries. I'm doing as much as I can on the YouTube channel. So anyways, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. And thank you so much for tuning in today. Hey, thanks for having fun with me on Gordon Gekko's birthday, because at the end of the day, we're just having fun here. Cheers to all of you. Thank you so much, Alyssa. And Sandra, I really appreciate that. Twisty, Steve Young, do the right thing. Agree, even when Even when we are the last Boy Scout. I love that, Steve. That's awesome. Not only from the movie, but as a Boy Scout, wish I was an Eagle, but I left to go to college. So I am an Eagle, but Friday CPA EA. And let's see, thanks for your hard work. Thank you, Serena, Sandra, Twisty. Who else am I missing here, Amanda? Clay, Serena.
Tim Williams, thanks so much for being the most valuable commodity I know of on his information. The most valuable commodity I know.
There you go. Yeah. Well, and you know what? I like what Tim says here. Greed equals self-interest. And, sometimes, depending, I think I see what we're talking about there, but, sometimes as business owners, it is okay to have a little self-interest. Like, it's okay, taking care of yourself and working out. So.
Yep, I agree. And Jason is going to be going on a dive, so he said that he will see us in a few days.
All right. Well, thank you,
Careful,
Jason. Yes, Card Shop Reality. Gecko is a villain for trying to destroy Martin Sheen's airline. He was the chief mechanic for. And guess what, though? Remember if you saw Wall Street 2, Bud Fox, after he gets out of jail, takes over Blue Star Airlines and turns it around and parachutes out. Everybody makes a ton of money, everybody that was working there. So it worked out okay for him. But you're right. And Gecko is a villain. Oh yeah, no, he's a villain. There's no doubt about that. But a great character. That's a great way to put that too. Mm-hmm. He's a character.
He is a character.
When people, I don't think Gordon Gecko's real, but when people start getting really up in arms over some of these things over the years, because I've been celebrating Gordon Gecko now for a long time, someone said, he's not real, don't you? So, all right. Hey, Clay, good night. Let's see. Twisty, Steve.
Robert from New York City says, thanks again for explaining the differences between braces and suspenders.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for that, Robert. I really appreciate that. All right, Gene and Daniel and Tony, thanks for everything. JJ and Amanda, thank you so much. Wait a second. Let's see. No, I talked with a Jeff Leon today. I was thinking, wait a second. But anyways, JX, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Good night, Fred.
You're very kind, Bach. I really appreciate that. Alyssa, have a great one. Bach, boom, boom. I love it. I love it. Nancy H, thank you for always being on. Such a supporter. Thank you, Tim. And let's see. Ramon. Oh, good. I'm glad that you got approved. I'm loving that. And Terry D'Angelo, how you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in today. And Tony, thank you so much. We'll see you Friday, happy hour. That's right.
Bye, Gene. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Gene. We appreciate you. And Z Robert 66, blessings to you. Thank you so much. Steve Young, cheers. Rosa, money never sleeps, pal. I'm loving it. Let's see. Thank you, Rosa and Millie and Fred. Hey, great show, JJ and Amanda. See you Friday. Thank you so much, Fred. And thanks for always watching. He's one of those that he has said that, 7 a.m. Florida time, 6 a.m. here. He's usually watching the Group 300 video, so I appreciate that. CJ, we will see you. Lori, hello, hello. And we've got Robert. Thanks again for explaining. Oh, you said that. Yep. And let's see. Shemless.
Twisty Bros just bought your book on Amazon.
Well, thank you. I'm touched. Truly, sincerely. I love it. And it just means a lot. You write something and people buy it.
Yes, and I do want to tell you guys, if you have got merch from JJ and I, could you please send a picture of it? Even if you have it on or you're holding the book or whatever. I'm doing something really awesome with all of the pictures, and I'll tell you guys at a later date, but get those to me.
Brian, thank you so much. And aloha, Sun Young, see ya. And let's see, Shemless, thank you. Card Shop Reality, late night coach vid, I hope, JJ, loving it.
Yes, Gene, I did get them.
Gene says goodbye to you, the professional speaker. Oh, let's see, you don't have birthday cake to go and eat, question mark? Oh, Rob, you got me. We're gonna have to go get some. We're gonna go get some, Rob. I appreciate that. Can't wait to share some more about Rob and Gwen.
Yes, Jason, we got your pictures and they are freaking awesome. Jason, remember sent us pictures of him out diving with your book?
Oh, yeah. Did we repost it?
Yeah,
we
I
reposted
haven't
it.
reposted
Yeah,
them yet. No.
saved it. Absolutely. I showed it to my kids. Actually, I was showing it to Cooper. Yes. So thank you for that. All right, Twisty. Thank you, Bach, Jean. Let's see. Augie, no show tomorrow. Yep, we're just doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Want to keep everybody interested. Daniel, you should open up, JJ should open up his late night videos with Money Never Sleeps and Neither Do I. I'm loving that. I'm going to do that, Amanda. If I'm doing a late one, if I'm doing a late, like JJ the CPA here, Money Never Sleeps and Neither Do I. Woo, I'm loving that. Let's see. Okay, when I get back to the shop open this summer, I will take a picture of the koozie at the card shop. I love it. And Dark Waters and Brad, keep up the great work. Sorry to confuse you with the two accounts. No worries, I just didn't want to misuse, really what it comes down to. Really appreciate you. Let's see, Rob, I'll save you a piece as of today's my wife's birthday. Oh my gosh.
Happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday to your wife. I look forward to wishing her happy birthday. It's like another hint going on over here, belated. Maybe we'll bring something. Wait, I'm giving away too much.
You are.
I am.
Say good night.
Okay, I will. JJ will sneak at a 4 p.m. tomorrow. Watch. I love it, Gene. All right, I'm a sole proprietor. I got PPP loan today. I have the puppeteer that love it. Happy birthday to your wife. Blessings. Oh, her name is Paula. Happy birthday, Paula. I knew that.
We did know that.
It was in my notes, though.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paula. Happy birthday to you. And with that, you all have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Look at that. We got 127 thumbs up. Really appreciate y'all. Hey, for those that are watching this later, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for making it all the way to here. We'll be here Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have your favorite beverage, even if it's a Coke or a water or a coffee or a tea. Have your favorite beverage. And we'll do maybe like a drinking game of some kind.
Of course we will.
All right. Appreciate ya. Terry, have a good night. Bach TV, jug it. Oops, I didn't jug at all. All right, we'll see y'all. Good night, good night. Thank you so much.